Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of Dragon Ball Z What Ifs that were shown on an old Pojo website. Again, like the last time, I will go through these what ifs and mostly give the conclusions of what I would think would happen to these what ifs. If there are any of these that you'd like for me to go into more detail, let me know in the comments section. And as before, I will leave the link for the website in the description if you'd like to check the what ifs and the people's spins on them. But without further ado, let's get on with reading some more. First question. What if Goten was born the year after Gohan was? Well, they would definitely have a different relationship than they do now. I mean, if Gohan was taken by Piccolo and then Goten was raised by Chi-Chi, I would imagine they would have a very different dynamic. Because I think that if Gohan and Goten were both taken by Piccolo, I think that they might have escaped whenever the time came. Because who knows if Goten would have been telling Gohan to escape, like after they get strong enough to escape. But honestly, just for the rest of the series, I just see Gohan as maybe being like the one that's strong, and then Goten always like being jealous of Gohan because he was trained and now he's strong and he's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, there could be the whole thing with, there would be a lot different of a dynamic, I think, between Gohan and Goten. But next question. What if Goku killed Dr. Gero when he fought the Red Ribbon Army during Dragon Ball? Well, this is kind of an interesting question, because I don't think that if they ever fought Dr. Gero, obviously Trunks would have never came back because there would have been no artificial humans to warn them about. Well, to warn the Z-Fighters about. And then there's also the fact that there's Majin Buu still. So whenever Babidi and Deborah come along, they're going to be so much stronger than the Z-Fighters because they weren't training for their lives for the androids or training in the Room of Spirit and Time. I mean, unless if just like over time, like Goku and all of the gang, all the Z-Fighters just decided to just train in the Room of Spirit and Time just to push their limits, even though there's not really much of a reason to. I mean, that's the only way I see them surviving against Deborah, honestly. Alright, let's move on to the next question. What if Dende refused to heal Vegeta after Krillin shot him through the chest before his fight with Frieza? Oh, wow. So if Dende refused to heal Vegeta, obviously Vegeta would die. And then I think that Frieza would just toy around with Krillin, Gohan, and Piccolo until Goku arrives. And then basically everything that played out would play out. But, I mean, if Frieza decided to kill Krillin or Gohan or Piccolo, I think that Goku might have turned Super Saiyan sooner. So there's that. What if Mystic Gohan hadn't dropped the Potara earring when Goku threw it at him? Well, they would have fused into Gokhan, and since the retcon with the Potara only lasting an hour, they wouldn't have to be worrying about staying permanently fused. Gosh, I bet you that kind of sucked whenever the writers and creators of Multiverse found out that the Potara is retconned, but oh well, I guess in that universe there's just no super. I guess that's all I could think of. But I think that they would be stronger than Vegito, even in their base form. Gokhan would be a force to be reckoned with. And I honestly think that Buu would stand no chance. Because if they were to go inside of Buu and defuse, and they were to free up Gohan, or even if the time limit ended between Gotenks, Buu would be screwed. He would have no way to get Mystic Gohan. or Super Gohan, or Ultimate Gohan, or whatever you like to call him. But honestly, I do see Gohan easily defeating Super Buu, even with Gotenks absorbed. Alright, next question. What if Vegeta would have kept his mouth shut when Gohan was fighting Dabura and Babidi, and Dabura had never realized that the evil that was inside Vegeta? Well, I think that the fight would have kept going, and honestly there might have been a point where Dabura might have gotten the upper hand on Gohan. Because I think that Dabura's slightly stronger than Gohan at this point, just slightly. But I think that Gohan just lacks the skill and all that to really be able to take on Dabura. But I would say that either Goku or... I would say maybe Goku might jump in if Gohan was actually about to die. But other than that, I think that they would have kept fighting, and then maybe Dabura would have gotten defeated, and then they would have gotten over to Babidi and Buu's chamber and got rid of them. Got rid of Babidi and Buu before he could hatch. So I think that, yeah, if Vegeta would have kept his mouth shut, I mean, him and Goku would have never fought and gathered the energy for Buu's resurrection. So, yeah, I think that things would have gone better. But also, at the same time, Goku would have gone back to the afterlife. So everything would be good, but Goku would go back to the afterlife, and then Beerus would probably never have a reason to go over to Earth. I mean, if Goku is dead, and I don't know how Beerus would feel about Goku while he's dead, like being on Kaio's planet. But yeah, I think that in the end, Buu would have never been a threat. Alright, next question. What if Frieza had killed Gohan as well as Krillin on Namek? I believe I answered a similar what if, to this, but basically I think that Goku would have gotten even more angry and probably would have not given Frieza any mercy, and probably would have just destroyed him from the very start. Honestly, I think that... Because, I mean, it was implied that Goku was struggling to keep a hold of who he was. So, yeah, Goku would have defeated Frieza, and that's it. He would have defeated him a lot sooner, and then whenever future Trunks came back... Yeah, that's actually another thing, that Cell would have not gotten created. If Frieza never came to Earth, Cell would not be a thing. So, as long as the Z Fighters could defeat 17 and 18, they would have world peace until Dabura and Babidi come around again. And then Dabura might be too strong if they weren't training really, really hard. Alright, but next question. What if Goku didn't die in his fight with Raditz? Well, I think that honestly this is the worst thing that could happen for Earth, and this is why. Because if Goku did not learn the Kaioken or train under 10 times Earth's gravity over with Kaio and his planet, he would not have stood a chance against Nappa and Vegeta. They would have wiped out Earth, and it would have been a series ender, and Frieza would have probably stayed number 1 in the universe. But next question. What if the order the Z Fighters went in to fight Babidi's fighters was different? Okay, so no matter who fights Pui Pui, they're gonna be done in. Well, I mean, Pui Pui's gonna be done in no matter who fights him. So there's that. So let's see, if Vegeta fought Yakon, I think that it probably would have had a similar outcome. Because I think that Vegeta has Super Saiyan 2, but I just think that him and Goku have a big gap between their powers, like he was saying. Because Babidi did unleash powers in Vegeta, but I would say that Vegeta's probably equal to Yakon. I would say in his base. But all it would take is just going Super Saiyan, and then it would be over. Pretty much the same thing that Vegeta would fool Yakon into sucking up too much energy. Or just flat out just going really fat, like just approaching him really fast and just doing what he did to Pui Pui. I think though if Gohan fought Yakon, he would have trouble in his base. Like I think that like slash attack that he did to Goku and barely dodged, I think that would have damaged Gohan a great deal. And then I think that Goku or Vegeta might have had to jump in. Okay, but I think that if Goku or Vegeta fought Deborah, they would easily defeat him. They would go Super Saiyan 2 and have a big sizable advantage to where it wouldn't even matter. But yeah, I honestly, like, if they went to a different order, like that's a different topic for another day to how everything would end out, but for the fights themselves, those are my opinions. Alright, next question. What if Piccolo did not push Goku over and Frieza's death beam hit Goku? This is anime only. This did not happen in the manga. See, this is kind of an interesting thing, because you could tell that the Dragon Ball culture back then, like nobody had ever read the like very few people read the manga back in these days. Like these what ifs do come from a time where the internet was very young, and so was Dragon Ball. But I mean, just to answer the question, obviously Goku would not become a Super Saiyan and Frieza would kill everyone. And then the series would be done. Alright, next question. What if Trunks in the future thought of asking King Kai to bring Dende to Earth after he defeated the androids? Well, I think that Trunks could probably revive anybody who hasn't died with the Dragon Balls, and he could probably instantly restore all the damage that has been done. But I think at this point, like, all of the Z fighters have been revived by the Earth's Dragon Balls, besides Ten Shinhan and Yamcha, I think. And so yeah, I mean, Ten Shinhan and Yamcha could be brought back, and so could Vegeta. But yeah, I mean, they could bring back Piccolo too. And yeah, I mean, they could bring back some Z fighters, but Goku, Chaozu, and anyone else who died by the Dragon Balls would not be able to get brought back unless they went over to Namek. So, yep. What if there was no such thing as Super Saiyan? Honestly, this would probably fix a lot of power scaling. But, I mean, just to answer the question, Toriyama would have probably written another way for Goku to keep up with Frieza. Like, maybe during the Frieza arc, like, maybe it would have been like Goku can go up to like Kaioken times 5. And then during the fight, Goku like learns how to master his ki and go up to like Kaioken times 10, and then maybe that would be Frieza's full power. And then Kaioken would probably end up being a staple in the series. But yeah, I think if there was no Super Saiyan, there would definitely be other ways that Toriyama would write to, I don't know, just for people to keep up with the main villains. Maybe there'd be more Zenkais. But I don't know. Who knows? Alright, but next question. What if Nappa had survived and left with Vegeta? I assume he meant after the Saiyan arc, whoever wrote this. But what I think would happen is I think that Nappa would probably get killed by Zarbon. And the reason why I think that is because Vegeta would probably fight Dodoria and kill him no problem, and then Vegeta would fight Zarbon, and then once he goes over to his monster form and takes out Vegeta, Nappa would probably die, just because at that point he's not useful to keep alive, so Nappa would be killed at that point. So Nappa was always doomed from the start, to be quite honest. Alright, next question. What if Dr. Garo took on Vegeta after he killed 19? So, like I was saying in my video, that so what I think would happen was that Dr. Garo would kill Vegeta, and Piccolo would probably step in and try and take care of him. And if Dr. Garo got away again, then numbers 17 and 18 and 16 would all get activated, and they would probably wait to fight another day, because the only reason why they didn't was because Vegeta was there, and he really wanted to challenge them. So if Vegeta died, I think that if Vegeta died, obviously there'd be no Super Vegeta. So what I think would happen would be everything would play basically the same up until Second Form Cell appears. And then after that, I think that either Trunks or Goku or Gohan would go to finish the job, and they would probably take care of Second Form Cell right then and there. And then they'd get Dende to be the Guardian, and then they would revive Vegeta, and then Vegeta would see the results of training in the Room of Spirit and Time, want to do it himself to surpass Goku, and then I think that there'd be a rivalry between Goku and Vegeta during the 7 years, like before Majin Buu shows up. But I don't even know. The thing is that I don't know what Vegeta would have done. Like, I don't know if Vegeta would have challenged Goku sooner. But I don't think that he would have had... I think that maybe their problems would have gotten resolved sooner, and they might have been cool with each other after, like, before the whole 7-year gap, and then then they're more willing to work together against Buu. Alright, next question. What if Trunks only gave the Z Warriors 1 year to train? Honestly, I brought this up in another video, that no matter how hard the Z fighters trained for numbers 17 and 18, I think that they would have had the same power difference regardless. Like, I think that 17 and 18 being stronger than the Z fighters upon their initial activation was basically fate within the story. So I think that all the Z Warriors would get as strong as they need to be, and of course we know that there are some very plot-derived power-ups, like Piccolo. But in the end, I think that the Artificial Humans arc would have been basically the same, just because Goku being there was the factor, and them having the warning. Alright, next question. What if Vegeta went SSJ2 when Trunks was killed? This would not make a difference. I mean, whenever Goku was fighting Cell, whenever they powered up, he was so impressed by the power difference between him and Goku that he was thinking like, oh Goku, you're the only one who can finish this fight, you're the only one who can fight Cell. So I don't think that Vegeta going SSJ2 would make any difference at all. Like, maybe it would put him a little bit above Goku whenever he was at full power. Like, I don't even think that Vegeta would be as strong as Gohan, like as a regular Super Saiyan at this point. But yeah, I think the exact same thing would have happened. Cell would have just swiped Vegeta away and then shot a death beam and then Gohan jumps in front of it. Basically the same thing. What if Gohan would not have acted all macho and killed Cell when he had the chance? Goku would be alive and in Goten's life and Gohan's life. So I think that the series could go so many different ways. I mean, maybe I'll make a separate video on this. But I mean, obviously Goku would be alive. That's for starters. Alright, what if Yamcha was Trunks' father instead of Vegeta? Well, Trunks would not be as strong as he is now. Just as simple as that. I mean, the Saiyan DNA allows him to turn Super Saiyan, and I think that it personally allows more potential for training. I think that half Saiyans and Saiyans get bigger boosts in training than humans do. So, yep, that would just result in a weaker Trunks. That's it. What if when Bulma hit Goku with her car in Dragon Ball #1, she killed him? There's way too much to go into with this, but I think that Pilaf would have gotten his wish, and then until Raditz arrived, basically Pilaf would rule the world. And then Raditz would arrive, and then the whole world would get destroyed. It would be sold off and then become like another Frieza planet or something. So, yep, basically a series ender. What if Goku never caught the heart virus? Well, I don't think there'd be a reason for Trunks to go back in time. So, I think that everything would have gone exactly the same. Like in the History of Trunks timeline. I think that the artificial humans would have killed everyone off. I think because those artificial humans were so ruthless, I think that if Goku and them fought, Goku would not stand a chance and would die. And then basically everything else would come to pass, and Trunks would probably go back in time just to warn the Z Fighters. And then basically everything would happen similar, but Goku would not get sick against 19. And because of that, I think that Goku might have faced number 17 and 18 from the present timeline. And since they're programmed to kill Goku, they might have actually done it. But after they killed Goku, I don't know, they might have revealed well, now that we've killed Goku, there's not really much of a purpose for us, so we'll live in peace. And I think everything would go well until at least Cell arrived. And if Cell absorbed the androids, or tried to absorb the androids, before they could kill him on their first meeting, I think another just Cell arc would happen. But yeah. What if the Dragon Balls didn't exist? Oh gosh. So basically, Krillin would stay dead, Chaozu would stay dead, Roshi would stay dead, and those characters would not exist anymore. And if they somehow made it over, if everything happened up until the Frieza arc, Vegeta would have gotten killed off for good. Piccolo would have gotten killed off for good. No, I mean Piccolo would have gotten killed off for good in the Saiyan arc, and then Ten Shinhan would have gotten killed off for good. Knowing him, he would have probably suicided himself far before then, just because Chaozu's dead. But basically, nobody would live, because by the time the Frieza arc happened, is done and over with, every major character has died at least once, besides Gohan. Alright, next question. What if the movies were integrated? Oh my gosh. that would make for a very interesting series. I just don't know how it would be compatible with all the craziness going on. But basically, there'd be so many contradictions that it would be insane. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they're all their own separate continuity, and they're not even sequels to one another. Besides maybe just like the Tree of Might and Lord Slug, and then the cooler movies. Alright, next question. What if Cell had first absorbed Android 18 instead of 17? I don't think there's any reason to say that second form Cell would look any different. I just think that Cell would transform into his second form and look the exact same. Maybe Cell would have a more effeminate appearance, but I don't think so. Alright, next question. What if Vegeta returned to Earth instead of going on to Namek? Well, I do think that him and Goku would have fought again. And since Vegeta doesn't have his tail, I think that Goku would have won this time. Because I think that whenever Goku got a Zenkai from whenever he first healed up from his casts and all that stuff, I think that him and Vegeta still have about the same difference in power. Like if Vegeta I have Goku at maybe 11,000 after that Zenkai. So I would say that him and Vegeta have about the same difference in power. So they would have fought again, but I think that Goku would have probably defeated Vegeta again. Because Vegeta doesn't have his Ozaru form to rely on. Alright, and last question. What if Goku had been on Earth during the Garlic Jr. saga? Well, I think that the Garlic Jr. saga would have came to a close much sooner. I mean, assuming where Goku was or whatever, I think that he would have fought all of the henchmen, defeated all 4 of them easily, and then goes right up to challenge Garlic Jr. And then Garlic Jr. wouldn't be able to stand a chance against Goku. All he'd have to do is just go Kaioken, and he'd be 6 million, and Piccolo, who's estimated to be around 1.5 million, was fighting one-on-one with Garlic Jr. So yeah, I think that the saga would have ended a lot sooner. Who knows, that might have been a better thing actually, because I really don't like the Garlic Jr. saga. I think The Dead Zone is a better movie. Alright, well those are all the what ifs for today. Join me again for part 3 in the future. But as always, guys, thank you for watching, and have a great day.